What if I told you that a single coin buried deep in your drawer could be worth more than your paycheck? What if a quarter from 1976, a dollar from 1979, or even a penny from 1921 could open the door to a hidden world of forgotten American history secret coin? It is a time capsule, a turning point, a revolution in U.S. minting history. What if I told you that this $1 coin was never meant to look the way it did? What if I told you some versions of this coin are worth thousands and hiding in plain sight in your old pocket change? This story will take you deep inside the secret vaults of the U.S. Mint, the political pressures of the late 1970s, the historic debut of a woman on American currency, the Susan B. Anthony dollar, and the massive public backlash that nearly killed the coin. In its first year, we will explore the types, the rare varieties, the mistakes and errors, and the one coin so rare that only a few collectors have ever seen it with their own eyes. Buckle up, because this 2-hour journey into the history value and hidden secrets of the 1979 $1 coin will change how you look at American money forever. This is not just a story, it is a treasure hunt, and you are about to begin. The year was 1979, and the United States was on the edge of major change. Inflation was rising, gas prices were surging, and the American people were looking for hope and leadership in a time of economic uncertainty. And while the world watched the headlines about the economy, politics, and international conflict, the United States Mint was preparing for a major change that would forever alter the course of American coinage history. They were about to introduce a brand new $1 coin, a coin that would feature a groundbreaking design, a smaller size, and for the first time in American history, the face of a real woman who was not a mythological figure, not a symbol, but a real flesh-and-blood American hero, Susan B. Anthony. This coin was not just about money. It was about symbolism. It was about recognition. It was about honoring the fight for women's rights and putting it in the pockets of every American. The Susan B. Anthony $1 coin, also known as the SBA dollar, was officially authorized by Congress in 1978 and released to the public in 1979. But from the beginning, it faced controversy, confusion, and rejection. It was a coin with the heart of a revolution, but the look of a quarter, and that would be its greatest curse and its most famous story. The design of the 1979 $1 coin was unlike anything seen before. It was small, it was round, and it was made of a copper nickel-clad composition. It featured Susan B. Anthony on the obverse side. Her profile, stern, determined, confident, the way she was remembered in history. A leader of the women's suffrage movement who helped pave the way for the 19th Amendment. The reverse side showed the Apollo 11 mission insignia, a tribute to American space exploration originally used on the Eisenhower dollar. It was bold and powerful, but critics said it looked too much like a quarter. The public was confused. Vending machines rejected it, cashiers mistook it, and collectors were left wondering what this coin really meant. Now let's dig deep into the varieties of the 1979 $1 coin, because this is where the story becomes rare, valuable, and historic. The most famous variety is the 1979 wide rim or near-date variety on most 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars. The date is far from the rim, but on some coins minted in Philadelphia, the date is much closer. This wide rim variety is much more rare and desirable among collectors, and in high grade it can be worth hundreds of dollars, even more, if certified by professional grading companies like PCGs or NGC. But that is not the only rarity. The 1979 S-proof coins made in San Francisco also have two varieties known as Type 1 and Type 2. The Type 1 has a filled or blob-like S mint mark, while the Type 2 has a clearer, sharper. As this difference may seem minor, but Type 2 is far more rare, and in deep cameo-proof condition, it can bring serious money collectors seek out these proof varieties with intense passion because they represent the finest quality coins made that year. The story of the 1979 $1 coin is not just about minting errors or collectible value. It is about the failure and redemption of a coin that was ahead of its time, the United States Mint. believed that Americans would embrace a small dollar coin similar to those used in Europe and Canada. They hoped it would save money and reduce the need for paper currency, but the coin was simply too close in size and appearance to the quarter, and the American public rejected it by 1981. The mint stopped regular production, and the Susan B. Anthony dollar quietly faded away until a brief revival in 1999. But what many people do not know is that millions of these coins still circulate today, and some of them are worth much more than face value. If you have a 1979 $1 coin, check the mint mark, check the rim. Look for signs of the wide rim, near-date variety, or the clear S-Type 2 proof. It might be a treasure hiding in plain sight, and many people have unknowingly spent these rare coins in change jars and vending machines without ever realizing their worth. In addition to the wide rim and proof varieties, there are also mint errors that can command huge premiums. These include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double dies, and wrong planchet errors. One famous example is a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar struck on a Sacagawea dollar planchet. A minting mistake that should not have happened, but somehow did. And because of its rarity and the story behind it, it sold for thousands of dollars at auction. We must also talk about the historical importance of this coin beyond its monetary value. Susan B. Anthony was one of the most influential women in American history, born in 1820. She spent her life fighting for civil rights abolition, and most notably women's suffrage. She was arrested for voting illegally in 1872 and became a symbol of the movement that would eventually secure voting rights for women in 1920. The year the 19th Amendment was ratified, and it was only fitting that in 1979, nearly 60 years later, her image would be placed on a United States coin for the Bay, first time honoring her legacy and continuing the fight for equality. The decision to feature Susan B. Anthony was not without controversy. Some believed it was a political move. Others thought it was long overdue. But either way, it marked a significant moment in American coinage history and paved the way for future coins featuring real women like the Sacagawea dollar in 2000 and the American Women Quarter series in recent years. As we explore the minting process of the 1979 $1 coin, we learn that it was struck at three major mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark. The Denver coins carry a D, and the San Francisco coins have an S. The business strike coins were made for circulation, while the proof coins were made for collectors and sold in special packaging. These proof coins are known for their mirror-like surfaces and sharp details, making them highly collectible. Among collectors today, the 1979 $1 coin is a fascinating piece, not just for its varieties, but for its story. It is a coin that tells us about the state of America in the late 1970s, about changing roles in society, about economic challenges, and about how even a well-intentioned coin can fail in the public eye despite all its historic value. But time has a way of changing perceptions, and today the Susan B. Anthony dollar is appreciated not just for what it was, but for what it represented. Coin collectors often look for high-grade examples of the 1979 $1 coin in mint state condition, MS-65 or higher. These coins are difficult to find because they were often mishandled, rejected, or simply not saved in pristine condition. And as the years pass, the number of surviving high-grade coins continues to shrink, increasing their value and appeal to serious numismatists. So what should you look for if you have a 1979 $1 coin in your collection? First, identify the mint mark if there is none. It is from Philadelphia. If there is a D, it is from Denver. If there is an S, it could be a proof coin or a business strike. Next, examine the rim and date. If the date is very close to the rim, it may be the rare wide rim variety. Finally, if you have a proof coin, examine the mint mark closely with a magnifying glass or microscope and see if it is the Type 2 variety with a sharp, clear S. Sold at auction for impressive prices in 2020, a 1979 S-Type 2 proof dollar in perfect proof, 70 deep cameo grade sold for over $4,000, and a wide rim near-date variety in MS-67 condition sold for nearly $1,500, proving that even modern coins can carry substantial value when rarity, condition, and demand align. The future of the 1979 $1 coin remains bright in the world of collecting as more people become aware of its varieties, errors, and historical significance. The demand continues to grow, and while it may never have found its place in everyday circulation, it has secured a permanent place in numismatic history as a coin that dared to be different, that carried the legacy of a pioneer, and that reminds us all that even small things can leave a lasting mark. This concludes our full history of the 1979 $1 coin, from its conception to its rejection, from its hidden rarities to its modern value, from its minting process to the powerful story of Susan B. Anthony herself. This coin is more than just metal. It is memory, legacy, and treasure. Keep searching your change, keep studying your coins, and who knows, you might just hold a piece of American history in your hand without even knowing it. Not all 1976 coins are created equal behind the shining surface of these quarters, and dollar coins lies a world of secrets, errors, and forgotten value that only true collectors understand, from special bicentennial designs to rare mint marks from the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints to elusive silver-clad versions. These coins are more than just pocket change. They are hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Why does one quarter sell for thousands, while another is worth almost nothing? Why do certain Eisenhower dollars from 1976 become the crown jewels of a coin collection? What makes one coin ordinary and another legendary in this video? We uncover every truth from the moment. These coins were first designed to the exact minting process, to the market demand and collector trends that have shaped their value today. This is not just history. This is a journey through American pride and numismatic mystery, and when you finish watching, you will never look at a 1976 quarter or dollar the same way again. In the year 1976, the United States of America celebrated its 200th birthday, a milestone in history known as the Bicentennial. This celebration was not only marked by fireworks, parades, and national pride, but also by the creation of a unique and iconic set of coins that would forever stand out in the history of American currency. These coins included the 1976 quarter and the 1976 Eisenhower dollar, both of which were specially designed to honor the spirit of the American Revolution and the birth of a free nation. But beyond the celebration and symbolism, these coins carry a history of design, minting errors, production mysteries, collector demand, and increasing value that makes them some of the most interesting and valuable pieces in the world of numismatics today. To understand the significance of the 1976 quarter and dollar, we need to look at the background leading up to their creation. During the early 1970s, the United States Congress and the Treasury Department wanted to find a way to mark the bicentennial anniversary through the coinage system. A competition was announced where artists were invited to submit designs for the reverse sides of the quarter, the half dollar and the dollar coin. The winning designs would replace the usual eagle and liberty images that had been in use, and would reflect the theme of liberty, independence, and patriotism. The 1976 quarter, also called the Bicentennial quarter, features a colonial drummer boy on the reverse side, a design by Jack L. Ayer. The image was intended to evoke the patriotic spirit of the Revolutionary War era and remind Americans of the sacrifices made by those who fought for independence. The obverse side of the coin still features George Washington as it had since 1932. But unlike other quarters, this one is dated 1776, 1976, not just 1976. This double date is symbolic of the bicentennial and makes the coin instantly recognizable among collectors and the general public. The Eisenhower dollar coin, minted in 1976, also received a bicentennial design. The reverse side features the Liberty Bell in front of the moon, symbolizing both the struggle for freedom and the achievements of the space age. a powerful image meant to show the progress America made in 2 centuries. This design by Dennis R. Williams was chosen for its simplicity and its strong symbolic message. Again, the obverse side retained the portrait of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, while the date on the coin was shown as 1776-1976 to mark the bicentennial anniversary. Now let us turn to the different types of 1976 quarters and dollar coins that were minted. During this time, the United States Mint produced these coins at 3 main locations: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Each of these mints produced coins in various compositions for both circulation and collector sets. Understanding the mint marks and their significance is essential to identifying rare and valuable variants. Coins minted in Philadelphia in 1976 do not carry a mint mark, those struck in. Denver have a small D mark, and those from San Francisco show an S mint mark. The most common 1976 quarters are the copper-nickel-clad versions produced in large quantities for circulation. But there are also special 40% silver-clad versions of both the quarter and the Eisenhower dollar. These were made only for collector sets and not released into general circulation. The silver-clad coins are heavier, have a slightly different luster, and are often more valuable due to their silver content and limited mintage. The 40% silver coins were minted only in San Francisco and only in proof and uncirculated sets. Collectors often seek out these coins because they were not handled by the public and usually remain in pristine condition. Even decades later, a 1976 S-proof silver quarter in perfect condition can fetch significantly higher prices than its copper-nickel counterpart, and the Eisenhower dollar in 40% silver can be even more valuable, especially in its deep cameo-proof version. But it is not just silver content or proof status that makes these coins valuable. Mint errors and varieties also play a huge role in determining which coins are worth a small fortune and which are simply historical mementos. Error coins from 1976 include off-center strikes, double dies, and coins struck on the wrong planchets. Some of these errors are extremely rare and have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Imagine finding a 1976 quarter that was accidentally struck on a nickel planchet or an Eisenhower dollar with a double die obverse. These mistakes are few and far between, but they exist, and they are some of the most exciting finds for serious collectors. One notable variety is the Type 1 and Type 2 lettering on the Eisenhower dollar. The Type 1 variety features thick, bold lettering, while the Type 2 has thinner, more refined letters. The Type 2 is generally rarer and is considered more desirable, especially in high-grade coins. Knowing the difference between these types can help collectors spot potential high-value coins in their own collections. Grading also plays a crucial role in the value of these coins. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale with MS 70 or mint. State 70 being the highest possible grade. The closer a coin is to mint state, the more valuable it is. A 1976 quarter or dollar that has been certified MS 65 or higher by a professional grading service like PCGs or NGC will sell for significantly more than a circulated version, even if it is the same type or variety. Proof coins are also graded with a focus on the contrast between the mirrored background and the frosted design elements, with deep cameo designations fetching premium prices. Over time, the popularity of bicentennial coins has only grown as more collectors enter the market, and as silver values fluctuate, many people are revisiting their old coin sets and discovering that their 1976 coins may be worth more than they realized. For example, a regular 1976 quarter in circulated condition might only be worth face value, but a silver-proof version in pristine condition could be worth $10, $20 or more depending on market conditions. And demand similarly, a high-grade 1976 Eisenhower dollar with a rare variety or error could fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars in the right auction setting. Beyond monetary value, these coins have historical and patriotic significance that adds to their desirability. They mark a moment in American history when the nation reflected on its roots, celebrated its progress, and looked forward to the future. The bicentennial coins are a tangible reminder of that spirit, and owning them connects collectors to a story that is far bigger than metal or money. It is the story of America itself. In conclusion, the 1976 quarters and Eisenhower dollar coins are far more than just coins. They are history, they are art, they are investments, and they are symbols of national pride. Whether you are a new collector or a seasoned expert, these coins offer something for everyone, from beautiful designs and valuable silver content to rare varieties and mysterious mint errors. The bicentennial coins remain a fascinating chapter in the story of American numismatics. And if you have one in your collection or find one in your change, you might just be holding a piece of that story in your hand. If you enjoyed this detailed deep dive into the world of 1976 quarters and dollars, stay tuned as we continue to explore the hidden history, rare values, and powerful stories behind America's most iconic coins, and the hidden clues that make some of these tiny cents far rarer than gold. This is the story that turns pocket change into a treasure hunt. So let's dive deep into the rare world of the 1921 penny, where every scratch, mint mark, and detail could make or break a fortune. In the year 1921, the world was slowly recovering from the aftermath of the First World War. Industries were shifting, economies were transforming, and the United States Mint was adjusting to new realities. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, which had begun in 1909, was still relatively young, yet by 1921, it had already become a symbol of everyday American commerce. From grocery stores to factory pay packets, the penny was the backbone of small transactions in this period. The U.S. Mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco were all involved in penny production. But for 1921, only the main Philadelphia Mint struck the 1-cent coin with no mint mark. This tiny detail often confuses new collectors, but for seasoned numismatists, it marks the beginning of a treasure hunt. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 39 million pennies in 1920, one which may seem like a huge number, but compared to other years with hundreds of millions minted, it is relatively low. Furthermore, the quality control in that era was inconsistent, meaning well-struck, clear examples with full wheat stalks and crisp details are quite rare. When you examine a 1921 penny under magnification, you will notice the boldness of Abraham Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the lettering, and the sharpness of the wheat stalks on the reverse. All these features contribute to the coin's grade, and value collectors search for those with minimal wear, clear lines, and original red or reddish-brown color, which can skyrocket the value from just a few cents to thousands of dollars. The history behind this penny also intertwines with major economic trends. During 1921, the United States was experiencing the aftermath of a short, sharp depression known as the Depression of 1921. A period marked by deflation and high unemployment. This economic dip affected coin circulation and hoarding behavior. People saved their coins, including pennies, which means many circulated examples exist today. But finding uncirculated mint state examples is the real challenge, because the mint did not always handle coins. Gently planchets or blank discs were often poorly prepared, and dies would wear out, producing weak strikes. Therefore, collectors today must be experts at distinguishing genuine high-grade examples from cleaned or artificially enhanced ones. Interestingly, the Lincoln Wheat penny design itself has a rich backstory, originally designed by Victor David Brenner. The coin was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, which at the time was controversial. President Theodore Roosevelt had pushed for more artistic American coins to rival European counterparts. So Brenner adapted a design based on a plaque he had done of Lincoln earlier. The wheat ears on the reverse symbolized prosperity and growth, fitting for the post-Civil War Union. The 1921 penny thus sits at the crossroads of American artistry, industrial growth, and economic challenge. Many collectors debate whether the 1921 penny is a semi-key date. While it is not as rare as the legendary 1909 SVDB or the 1914 D, its relatively low mintage and condition rarity make it a sought-after piece in a complete Lincoln cent collection. Auction records show that high-grade mint state red examples have fetched prices in the mid-five-figure range, especially when slabbed by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. The grading scale itself is crucial to understanding. Penny value coins are graded from poor to mint state 60 and above, but small details make huge price differences. A coin graded MS-65 red can be worth exponentially more than an MS-63 brown. Even though they look similar to the untrained eye, collectors also need to watch out for counterfeits. The Lincoln series has seen its share of fakes, especially key dates. So authenticating a 1921 penny involves checking for proper metal composition, weight edge, smoothness, and die characteristics, as well as provenance and trusted certification. The story of the 1921 penny is not complete without talking about error coins. Minting errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or die cracks add another layer of excitement to the hunt. Some of these errors can push a humble penny into the ranks of major collectibles. For instance, a doubled die obverse, where the date or lettering appears doubled, is highly prized, though not many confirmed examples exist for 1921, but collectors still check every detail just in case. The social and cultural backdrop is fascinating too. In 1921, America was entering the Roaring Twenties, an era of jazz prohibition flappers and booming industry. Yet beneath the glitter, there were economic tremors that would eventually lead to the Great Depression. Less than a decade later, coins from this transitional period capture that story in metal. The 1921 penny circulated through countless hands, perhaps a factory worker in Detroit, farmer in Kansas, or a shopkeeper in Chicago, each coin carrying silent witness to the life of early 20th century America. Over the years, many of these pennies were lost, corroded, or spent abroad, making surviving examples in great shape. Even more precious collectors today often wonder what makes a simple copper coin so captivating. It is the intersection of history, design, rarity, and the thrill of the hunt that keeps the legacy alive. So next time you find an old jar of pennies, take a closer look. That dull brown coin might be a piece of American history worth far more than its face value numismatics. The study and collection of coins continues to grow, and the 1921 Lincoln wheat penny remains a classic entry point for new collectors and a proud piece for veteran enthusiasts who know that behind every coin lies a story waiting to be uncovered and shared.